Hi friends, this is your Python partner here. So today we are going to upgrade our quiz game, okay? So I really suggest you to watch that first video on that quiz game, okay? So where we have explained every modules and everything line by line there. So you need to understand that. Only then you can understand what upgradation that we are going to do here. Okay? So this is our logic, right? We are asking the user to enter the name and age, and we are then enrolling it into a file named quiztakers.json, and then we are showing them the quiz, and we are updating the score and displaying it. Okay, this is what happens in our project. But according to our previous version of code, after getting the user's name and age, we are just enrolling it inside the quiztakers.json file using this user module. Okay, but we never really bothered to see whether the contents inside that file is updated in the correct format or not, isn't it? So what actually is happening there? Of course, once when the name and age is coming from that main file, the values are get initialized here, and directly this register user method is called from that init method, and the name and age is set here, and this details it has been written to this quiztakers JSON file using the dump method. Okay, so everything is fine. So when the first time the file is running, everything will go smooth. Okay, the details will be written very fantastically. So when we run this program for the second time, like another user is coming to play this game. So what happens normally, now the quiz takers JSON file is already existing and it is opening in write mode. So naturally what happens, the past contents inside this file will be erased and the new contents will be overwritten inside it. So when it happens continuously, we won't have the details regarding the number of users who took this quiz, right? We'll have only one user, that is our recent user. Okay, so that is a thing we have to address. And as well, we never really bothered to update the score. Actually, we are going to keep this record of like users, how many users are taking this quiz, and definitely score is an important part here. So we have to update that part as well. So we are going to do that here. And as well, when it comes to a quiz module, after showing the questions, we are getting the response from users, and we are just checking whether the response is correct or not according to our original answer. Okay, we are just checking that, but we are never really bothered whether the user is entering a valid response. Like user need to respond with only true or false. What if he or she enters any other words? Definitely answer goes wrong and they are going to lose the point, but that is not the thing. Our quiz game need to be a little bit more efficient to handle this problem. So it has to prompt the user to enter only the valid response only when it is going to calculate the score. Okay, so likewise our quiz game is going to be a little bit more efficient to handle all these problems. This is what we are going to see here. Okay, so let's understand this upgradation in a detailed way. We are just going to see where we have changed that, and let's understand what that modifications are. Now let's see the code to understand how this upgradation is done, right? Okay, let's start from our main file. So as usual, yes, we have imported all the needed modules, that is user, quiz and score, and as well we are asking the user to enter the name and age. And here, yes, for that user module, this person is an object and we are just sending this name and age to the user module. So let's go to user module. So what happens here? Yes, it imports this JSON file, and as well the name and age is set, and from the init method, this register user method is called. So what happens inside this register user method, in sense, we have included try and except block here. So inside the try block, we are just trying to open the quiz takers JSON file in read mode. Okay, if the file is existing in sense, yes, using json.load of method, the whole contents of the file will be loaded into this variable named content. If not, file not found error will become, and then this except block will be executed. What happens? Empty list named content will be created. So when the first time we are running this program, naturally what happens? The file is not existing, and so this empty list will be created. Named content, fine. So whenever a user plays this game, the details will be entered into that file, and it looks like a list of dictionaries, which is very easy for us to access, to update or manipulate as we wish, right? Yes. Here inside this details, yes, the name is set to self.name, age is set to self.age, and we are giving a third key value pair score. Initially, we are going to set it to none. Okay, and then we are going to append this details to this content. So here in this line, we are just opening the quiz takers JSON file in write mode, and we are just going to dump all this details into that file. So coming back to our main file, now the user's name and age is already entered into that file along with the initial score value as none. And then yes, then we are welcoming that user and we are asking them whether are they ready to take the quiz or not. So if their response is yes, yes, if block will be executed. So questions, it is an object for that quiz module is created. So what happens? Let's go to the quiz module. So now what happens inside this quiz module? This init method will be initialized. So at starting, yes, inside the self.contents, we are just loading the contents of quiz.json file using json.load of method. It is nothing but the questions. Now the questions will be here, self.contents as well. Here self.score is nothing but it is an object created for the score module. As we are not going to do any upgradation inside that score module, we are not going to go there because already we have discussed that in our previous video. If you want, you could just revisit it. And now let's come back to our main file. So here in next line, result is equal to, using this object for the quiz module, we are just accessing the show questions method. So now let's go back to that quiz module, to that method show question. So what happens here? You remember? It is just going to loop over the questions and it is going to get the response from the user, and then it is going to check whether the answer is correct or not, and it is just going to pass that value to the score module and then returning a result back to our main file. So this is what is happening. Okay, so here we have included a while loop and as well a try and except block. Let's see. Okay, so at the starting, it is looping over the question number and data. So after the first question is printed, along with its number, a while loop is started here. So inside this while loop, it is asking the user to enter the response, like say true or false. And then a try block is started here to check if the answer is not in true or false. If it is not either true or false, what happens? It raises the value error. Okay. Then the thing is coming to this except block, and it is going to print invalid answer, please enter true or false. So this prompt keeps on running till the user enters true or false. Yes, and if the user at the first itself, he or she is going to enter the valid response, what happens? This break statement will be executed, and then yes, the program control will come to this if block where a normal function happens, like the answer they entered will be checked against the original answer, and if it is correct, yes, this using the score object, we are just going to send the point 1 to the score modules calculate score, and from there we are just getting the result here. So it happens for every question, and if it is wrong, then the else part will be executed, and at the end of our quiz, the final result will be written back to our main file. Okay, so let's go to our main file. So now this variable here, result, will hold the final result. Okay. And then here in this line, yes, we are just going to display the user's name along with their score. And as well, this is the main part. So here in this line, person.update file of, we are sending that result, that is score. So person, it is nothing but object of that user module, you remember, right? And according to our previous version of code, inside that user module, we got only two methods, like init method and registered user. But here we really care about updating the score of that user. So yes, a new method is included, that is update file, and let's go to user module to see what is happening there. So inside this update file of method, it is expecting the result, what we are sending from a main file. That could be score 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever it is. And then yes, we are just opening that quiz takers JSON file in read mode, and the contents inside that file is loaded using json.load of method. Now that whole content of that will be inside this variable named content. And then we are just looping over that contents to find our correct user. So we are just going to check if the user of name, that is equal to self.name, like the current user's name, we are just trying to find him from inside that file. And once we found that, yes, we are going to update that, like users that scored will be set to this result. Now the whole updated content, it need to be written back, right? So for that, we have to open that quiz takers JSON file in write mode, and we have to use dump of method, and we have to send that the content and file object as well as the intent parameter. And this is what happens. So yes, and here I have not really included any explanation for score module because we never really touched any functionalities from that module. So that if you have any doubts regarding that, you can watch our first video. Everything will be very clear then. So this is how our CubeStakers JSON file looks like. Very neatly formatted, right? Yes. So Sham took the game and he scored 5. Great, really great. And Bharati, Raghu, everyone. Yes, they got their score value updated. But regarding Chandrika, something unexpected happened. Maybe she could have skipped that part. Like she could have went in between. So that score value is not updated. So it is still null. Okay. So yes. So let's discuss this particular output here. So Raghu, yes, of age 18 started to play this and see. When it comes to fourth question, he started to play funny, like he entered tree. So what happens? Yes, our program is now very efficient in handling such playfulness. So it is asking invalid answer and please enter true or false. And again he's entered FSS. And again it is asking and again FSS. Again it is prompting the user to enter true or false. So our both the things are really taken care of. The score value is updated. Our file has the list of users who took the game and as well no invalid responses is really tolerated here. Okay, so yes. So friends, that's it for the session today. I hope you really enjoyed it and learned as well. If you feel like you have to refine this project a bit more, then yes, you could do that. Like what if users with same name is going to take the quiz? So then you have to really check user's name as well as their age to make sure you are updating the score for the correct user. Okay, and you could even more refine it, like what if the users with same name and age is going to take the quiz? Then you have to include someone other details, like it could be date of birth, like that, so that your game is going to be even more very specific and efficient in handling all these things. So and as well it will be very fun. So play with program and practice and have fun. So don't forget to like and share this video, and as well let's discuss more and more projects like this and we'll keep on learning. So what is most important here? Yes, subscribe and join me in this journey of learning. Let's make this journey more interesting and fun-filled one. Bye bye and take care.